twisted.
Welcome back to the Palace. I'm your host, Crown Vic. Today we're going to discuss the question: is Tom Brady's now ex-wife, Gisele, a witch? Is she the Wicked Witch of the NFL? Now, before I go in further on this video on her, I would like to kind of read a transcript from an interview that Tom Brady gave. In 2019, Brady basically told the world that Gisele cast spells on him, and we barely batted an eye. I've learned a lot about my wife over the years. She's so about the power of intention and believing things that are really going to happen. And she always makes a little altar for me at the game because she just wills it so much. So she put together a little altar for me that I could bring with pictures of my kids. I have these little special stones and healing stones and protection stones. And she has me wear a necklace and take these drops she makes and say all these mantras. Altar, protective stones, mantras. These drops she makes. Alright, so right off the bat, I will say I don't believe in witches. I just believe in people who have or believe in things beyond the five senses. So we can, one, see, we can smell, we can taste, touch. So I already said it, and we can hear. All right. So the five senses. There are people who only believe in that, and then there are people who believe beyond that. I so happen to be one of the ones who believe beyond the world that we see, beyond the world of the five senses. And when I look at mantras, and you may or may not have seen my earlier work on spiritual works such as mantras and meditation and this, that, and the other. So I have videos on that, and I've tried mantras before. So for example, clean string mantra for about 30 days. And I didn't really notice the results in my last video as I tried that for a period of 30 days. But I will say that there are levels to it. Alright, so for example, how I did the clean mantra is a little bit different than perhaps how Gisele does her mantras. Alright, I don't go really out my way to have an altar, to have these pictures, and some people even burn candles and they look into the flame for some type of, affirmation, if you will. Alright, some people really go deep and hard on this. Maybe I should do that moving forward in the future. So maybe moving forward, I may try mantras again later. But before we go further and talk about mantras, I would like to kind of give you the textbook dictionary term for mantras. So if I type in Google, and the Oxford Dictionary will say that mantras, originally in Hinduism and Buddhism, are words or sounds that are repeated to aid concentration in meditation. Alright, so for example, a mantra is given to a trainee meditator when his teacher initiates him or her. Number 2, a state or slogan repeated frequently. For example, the environmental mantra that energy has for too long been too cheap. Alright, so pretty much saying things over and over and over again. Some people may call or think this to be pseudoscience, and that's up to that person to believe that. You can believe whatever you want to. But I do believe in the power of mantras, and I do believe especially the power of affirmations. The affirmations and mantra are pretty much the same thing, except affirmations, or at least how I see affirmations, you kind of say that one time. So say, for example, you wake up in the morning and say, I am strong, I am capable, I am smart, I am this, I am that. So that's pretty much it, right? So that's kind of like affirmations. You're saying that one time and then you just kind of forgetting about it. Mantras is a little bit different. So usually it's you're calling on a spiritual entity, right? So where in affirmations, you're not really pulling on any type of force. Say for example, clean and stream mantra, you might be calling upon Shiva or the other entities from Hinduism, or whatever. I'm not too familiar with the religion, or if it's even a religion, but whatever those type of entities or deities are, so that's kind of more along those lines. So you would repeat Shreem, Shreem, or Om Shreem, and you would call upon the deity of wealth, or clean. You say old clean, and then keep repeating that phrase for about 108 times. About 108 times you repeat the clean or stream mantra, and typically you're calling upon a deity that aids you in that realm. All right, so the clean mantra is more the deity of love, and relationships. It helps you better when it comes to finding love, or it helps you repair love relationships, versus the stream mantra is more so along the lines of wealth and finances. So that is what I see as the difference between the mantras and the affirmations. Although you can also take away the deities and just kind of like take affirmations, for example, and repeat those phrases throughout the day, then that can also become a mantra. But originally, mantras derived from, as I explained, you call them upon deities in a similar way. Say, for example, you go in front of a mirror in a bathroom, you say Bloody Mary, so on and so forth, and you would call upon, demonic energies, allegedly, or Candyman, you call upon those deities. And that's the same thing you're kind of doing with mantras. Alright, so if you're coming from a biblical background, for example, you may think that is the work of the devil. And to each their own. I'm not here to judge. I have tried the mantras because I consider myself, a open-minded person, especially when it comes to spirituality. I practice many types of spiritual works, although I don't really dive that deep into, like, say for example, at one point I did do gemstones, so such as Brady, and his wife, she gave him some stones, some protective stones. I believe there's a gemstone for that. And as far as altars, that can also help when it comes to helping you focus, especially when it comes to having pictures of certain things. That's called visualization. You can actually create a visual chart, and people actually have that when it comes to being successful in their business. But how I see it, it's all of the mind. It's not necessarily some spooky stuff that is like magic and you gotta have a pot and some water and some mist coming out the pot and stir it and become a witch, but more so along the lines of using external means to focus your mind on whatever it is that you want to see come into fruition. All right, and that's just kind of how I see it. So if there is a witch, it's more along those lines of witchcraft, which is all of the mind. So is Gisele, Tom Brady's ex-wife, a witch? Well, that's up to you to interpret. I don't believe she's a witch. Do I believe that she helped Tom Brady win Super Bowls with this mindset? Maybe. Who knows? Maybe you can be successful too if you just think hard enough on it and focus with all your heart, mind, and soul. You too could be successful. This has been Crown Vic, signing out.